Theft was outlined in the Theft Act 1968, and in Section 1 of the Theft Act it says, a person is guilty of theft if he dishonestly appropriates property belonging to another with the intention to permanently deprive the other of it.
To work out if someone's guilty of theft, you have to first start with the actus reus. Under Section 3 of the Theft Act, an appropriation is any assumption by a person of the right of an owner. Now the rights of the owner are selling it, destroying it, consuming it, possessing it, lending it, or hiring it out. This is demonstrated in Crown and Lawrence.
Hello. You take me to this place.
Yep.
That one.
No, it's not enough. We want all of that. Thank you. In you get.
Even though Joe consented to the taxman taking the money, as he took too much, this is still an appropriation as he's taking the right away from the owner.
The second element of the actus reus is property. Section 4 of the Theft Act 1968 states that property includes money or other property, real or personal, including things in action and other intangible property. The section lists 5 types of property: money, which is like notes and coins; real property, which is land and buildings; personal property, which is all movable items such as books, CD, and jewellery; things in action such as bank accounts; and intangible things which have no physical presence but can be stolen. Knowledge of the question on the exam paper was not held to be property.
The final part of the actus reus, belonging to another. Section 5 of the Theft Act states that property shall be regarded as belonging to any person having possession or control of it, or having any propriety, right or interest. Generally speaking, the owner does have possession and control. However, in such circumstances such as hire cars, they would not. Propriety, right or interest is also much wider than just ownership. This can include co-owners or lost or abandoned property. Property got by mistake is also a key factor in this. Where a person gets property by another mistake and is under an obligation to make restoration of the property or its proceeds or the value. Yeah, I do.
Okay guys, we need to pay the bill, right? You okay to do it this time? Yeah, cool.
Cheers, thanks for that.
It's a team.
Sounding right?
Yeah, good. It's going good. Life is good, isn't it? You know, we got electric light.
Dad, I bought Christmas presents.
Why did you buy Christmas
What did you do that
presents?
for?
Why?
Oh my god, no, the light!
The case of David v. Bunnett is an example of property received under an obligation.
Dishonesty is the first part of mens rea in the offence of theft. It is found under Section 2 in the Theft Act, and its 3 exceptions to the rule are belief in the right of law to this item from the defendant, the owner's consent to have this item or the believed consent of the owner, and if the owner is not found and therefore it is considered as abandoned. The way to test for this is the Gosh test, which was brought in the case of the Crown and Gosh. It is a 2-part test which involves both subjective and objective elements. The objective element is asking whether the reasonable and honest man would see this action as reasonable and honest, and if this answer is no, it proceeds to a subjective question of whether the defendant at the time believed, according to the jury, that his actions were reasonable and honest.
Here's the bill for your operation.
I didn't even have an operation. I only had a consultation.
The Gosh test was important because it was found that although the defendant himself believed subjectively that he was acting honestly, the honest and reasonable man would not have charged for these bills under an operation, as it was for consultation fees as opposed to the actual operation.
Intention to permanently deprive is the last part of the mens rea of theft. Borrowing does not form the intention, and Section 6, subsection 1 helps explain the meaning. There's 2 aspects of the definition. The first one is disposing of the property, regardless of the other person's rights, and the second part is borrowing, making it equivalent to outright taking or disposal. In DPP and James and others in 2002, the defendant took and broke the victim's headphones and then gave the headphones back. He never intended to permanently deprive, as he did give them back, but the court held that there was intention, as his lending was equivalent to outright taking.
Right mate, do you mind if I borrow your headphones?
Yeah, mate. Oh, they have to be on the table next to me. These are really expensive. Please don't break them, right?
Alright, I'll be careful with them.
Cheers, mate. No worries.
Thanks. I think I broke them.
So yeah, that was theft. There's different sections to theft, as was covered. The mens rea parts being dishonesty and with intention to permanently deprive, and the actus reus elements being appropriation of property belonging to another. In an exam, you'd start off with actus reus elements first, because obviously you can't have someone guilty if there's no crime in the first place. And so once the act's proven, then you prove the mens rea. I've been told that in an exam, with intention to permanently deprive, they might chuck a curveball at you. So make sure you're careful, because you don't want to get it wrong.